Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Anthony with themovieblog.com, and I'm back here with another video. This time I'm doing a video on the latest Deadpool 2 trailer, which just dropped recently. Let's go ahead and let's dive into this new trailer. The trailer opens up with Deadpool doing some last minute review of a plan right before some sort of heist with a group of individuals in the back of a helicopter or aircraft of some sort. Now, I'm going to circle back to this point a little bit later so we can discuss this. It seems very telling with the actual plot of the film just from this opening segment alone. We also get a cool shot of the X-Mansion, the Blackbird, and a ton more scenes of Cable. All that stuff is pretty awesome. Now, I was going to do like a trailer analysis or a breakdown or something like that. I decided, you know what, from what we've seen in this trailer and the amount of time that's passed since the trailer was released, there's probably dozens of those already on YouTube. But from what we've seen in this trailer, I think if we take what we're seeing and we add that with our knowledge of the comics, I think we could take an educated guess as to the plot of this film. I really think if we all work together, we can probably come up with the plot of this film before release. So from the trailer, it seems that Cable has kidnapped some mutant child that was under Deadpool's protection for some reason. Deadpool doesn't take too kindly to someone getting the better of him in such a way, so he assembles a team of mercenaries to help him in his efforts to recover this kid. Now, my guess is that the kid is a mutant of some kind, as they seem to show this scene immediately after showing the X-Mansion, and I think they want us to associate him with being a mutant. It seems like they did that intentionally. The editors, the director, whomever, I think that whoever put this scene together, they intentionally want us to associate this kid with the mutants so that we know exactly where the storyline could be going. So, Deadpool hilariously, and I mean, he hilariously does some interviews in this trailer, and we're introduced to Terry Crews's Venom, Shatterstar, who is so 90s. I mean, wait, alright, seriously, before I even go any further, can we just stop and take a moment to acknowledge just how Rob Liefeld 90s this guy looks? I mean, look at him. I mean, everything from the double-bladed katanas to the long, flowy 90s hair to that god-awful 90s outfit and more. I mean, I hope that this guy is a straight-up gag character in this movie because I seriously cannot take this guy seriously. No. Listen, I know some folks out there who scream for a faithful translation from comics to page, and I usually think to myself, why would we want that? Seriously, why would we want them to take the comic book and turn it into an exact replica on film? That would be awful. But for those of you that say this, here you are. Enjoy. I mean, I don't mind when Hollywood adapts a character for film, and I know some people do, but let me know you know what, do me a favor, let me know what side of the fence you're on in the comments. I'm really curious about what the majority of you guys say in today's world where loose adaptations do so well. But anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Moving right back along to the video, we're also introduced to Domino, and last but not least, Peter. No, there's nothing else to Peter. He just saw an ad in the paper and decided to show up. So, how does this film give us even further insight into the possible plot in the movie? Well, for one, we haven't been introduced to a traditional comics villain in this film. It's leading some to speculate that Cable may be the actual antagonist in this movie, in some sort of large misunderstanding with the intent of him kidnapping this kid to set up the reveal for the true villain of the film, Mr. Sinister. So hear me out. The movie starts with the kidnapping of some kid that was under Deadpool's watch, but where exactly were they? I don't think it's likely that this was the X-Mansion. Seriously, this is not how the X-Men roll. It's more like Deadpool and this kid were both imprisoned, and Cable went in to rescue this kid this one particular kid because he'll likely be important to the survival of mankind or something in the future. Deadpool, not realizing that Cable is actually a force for good, just knows that a kid who probably befriended him while imprisoned is in danger. So Deadpool recruits and creates a group called X-Force to track down Cable and possibly liberate and free this kid. Now, I think the lack of a true villain being shown in the trailers, in the promotional material, we probably won't see one in the TV spots either. I think that this is intentional so that we can have that moment where the villain we don't see coming just pops up. And then they team up and they realize Cable's a good guy and he's alright. They stop fighting and they take on it as a combined unit, their true villain. So the obvious enemy of Cable would be Apocalypse, but with how Fox recently botched things with that character, it may be just a bit too soon for them to go digging in that well again. No. Instead, I think they'll go the route of Mr. Sinister, as he has a history of enslaving mutants while in pursuit of the perfect candidates to create Cable. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if Sophie Turner and whoever that is that's playing Cyclops make a cameo in this film, but nothing too crazy, just long enough for Mr. Sinister to get a DNA sample or two for future endeavors, and those of you who checked out my video explanation on Cable will know exactly what I'm talking about. Anyway, the trailer seemed to finally give us a sufficient amount of details that we could use that knowledge of the comics to make an educated guess as to the plot of the Deadpool 2 movie. I mean, it seems pretty sound. I'm pretty sure that's what the movie's about, and that's at some point Cable is literally going to come in, take over the team that Deadpool assembles for himself and install himself as leader of the group. That's pretty much how Cable did it in the comics. Professor Xavier was assembling and creating, another next generation of X-Men. It was a book called New Mutants. That book ran for years and years and years. Like, these guys were running around for like 100 issues. I think the 100th issue was the last issue of the New Mutants, written by Fabian Nicieza, drawn by Rob Liefeld, until it rebooted like maybe next month as X-Force. And the team was never the same because they no longer followed and approached missions with Xavier assigning them their tasks. From this point forward, they were in Cable's house. They were in the school of hard knocks by Professor Cable. And that experience alone was like really, really different for them. They had experience with Professor Xavier, and they didn't really have too much say in the way things went or how the team would be run or what direction they went. It was just his way or the highway. But they stuck around. They stuck around for a good long time. That book ran for years and years and years. And I think that's how they're going to adapt it for this film. Deadpool's going to assemble the team. Maybe he'll have a couple of X-Men in there as well. We see scenes with Colossus in this film, but I don't really think he's going to join the X-Force as a member. But we'll see. We'll see after that drops. Anyway, that's my best guess. That's my best theory, using the knowledge of the comics as to what is going to happen in the Deadpool 2 film. If you're new here to the movie blog, thank you for joining us. Just do me a favor, if you like this video, make sure that you click that like button down below. And if you want to have a say in the video that we make next time around, just make sure you subscribe and hit us up in the comments. That's all I have for this one. I'm going to check you guys later. Peace.